Hello, retro fans. Well, I had plans, but those plans weren't working as expected. So I want to give at least a short, well, let's say, update what I'm actually doing retro-wise, so to say. And you may have seen this already on Twitter or Mastodon that I'm back on, well, testing a couple of things with the C64, and this has been initiated by some recent releases, game releases, and I got hooked by some, well, let's say interesting formats, release formats. And so I started to see how I can get those digital versions on some sort of real cartridges. And by doing so, I really got lost in this project. So I really have to wrap up that whole thing. And that's actually one thing I'm quite over. And the next thing was actually that the WIC64 SID radio application program, whatever you want to call this, has received an update, and this adds a lot of interesting features. And we may just have a look at it because it's actually running in the background, I think. Oops, that's a bit too loud. That wasn't unexpected, but anyway. Yep, so as we can see, the main thing is actually playtime and song length database in implementation or inclusion, whatever we want to call this. And this is actually very, very interesting because the previous version had actually some sort of a fixed song length integrated or whatever. It was about 3 minutes, and this is a bit uncomfortable for tunes that are either shorter, because then they just loop, or they stop at the end and then you have a minute or something like this of silence. Or if the tune, as we can see here right now, is longer than 3 minutes, it was simply cut at the limit. And therefore it is actually very, very cool to see that there is still some progress. And I'm very thankful for Insert Disc 2 for his effort on working on this SID radio player. Unfortunately, it is still, and this is not no criticism at all, it is just what I have experienced on my side, and I have seen that someone on Twitter, unfortunately I forgot the name, I'm really sorry for this one, is facing the same thing, and it is a bit unstable. And but looking at the scroller, it is cool to see that there's a list of listeners, and with a song count. In place number 1, you with played 33,679 songs, so that's actually really cool. And that's simply based on the fact that this was running 24/7 for quite a while on my SID radio stream channel. I'm going to link this in the description, as well as the video I made about this project. And therefore, well, that's indeed a lot of tunes, and I think the total amount of tunes in the high voltage SID collection is 55,000, something like this. I'm not sure if all of those songs are available for the SID radio player, because I think they have to be some sort of converted in a certain format. That's actually not where I'm really into it. But as I said, I have experienced some sort of instability, and that's actually... Oh, the music is too loud and I'm still good to hear, so let me dim this a little bit. So that's, well, let's see. Anyway. And yeah, and this has led to some sort of side project I started. And the idea was actually to get the radio back online. So I have used in the past some sort of a tiny PC, just about this size, and it is running some Linux on it, I think. And yep, and I have never been really satisfied with this solution, because the tiny PC is indeed consuming a certain amount of power, and the frame rate and the whole streaming wasn't as good as I had in mind, so to say. And I even had to buy a new video capture thing that actually looks like this, because the old one I have used wasn't working, because I had some stuttering in the sound. I was just trying to find a good sentence. And so I thought, okay, I got this Raspberry Pi 4B Plus, I think it is. And I thought that should be powerful enough to stream at least with 25 frames or something like this. And it may consume less power than the tiny PC, but unfortunately I can't get it to work. So that's I spent about half a day yesterday to get this running. So the Linux is on it, it is running, the capture card is identified, and I can record video and sound. I think it is working, but I cannot stream. As soon as I hit the stream button, the OBS crashes back to desktop. And I'm not as much of a Linux expert to, well, actually solve this problem. So if someone out there who is really into such stuff, I would highly appreciate if someone is really able to create some sort of an image that is able to stream OBS video to YouTube, so that I can put this back on this Raspberry Pi, and then I can some sort of bring back to life the C64 SID radio stream. So actually that's one thing I really got some time burned, so to say. And yep, the next thing I was working on a few weekends ago is actually I have received this tape, Park Patrol, and that's one I have I was looking for quite, well, a long time. And they appear every now and then on eBay or similar platforms, but most of the time it was too pricey. But this time I was quite lucky and got this for, I don't know, less than 10 euros or something like this, something in this range. Already forgot it. But it isn't working, so that's the interesting thing. So I started to take apart my my tape recorder for the C64 and trying to kind of refurbish it, but it looks like it's not the tape recorder, it's actually the tape itself that's causing some issues. But well, I got some sort of stuck there as well, because as I said, I went into some cartridge testing, and that's actually the reason why I have so many different cartridges here on my desk. So the Sidekick 64, the Easy Flash 3, the Kung Fu cartridge, the Turbo Chameleon V2, and the Ultimate 2 Plus, because all of them are capable of emulating cartridge images in different formats. And it's really interesting that they have some, well, variations. They have some differences. And while I was searching for something else, which I forgot already, I found the box game version of Soulforce, and yeah, I got some sort of addicted by it. So actually, I was able to finish it today in easy mode. So very, very interesting. And I did some testing as well, because this is actually a Gmod 2 cartridge, I think. Hopefully. And it saves your game state. So the last level you have finished, or no, the last level you have started is actually saved on the cartridge with your amount of ships and your upgrades and your your score and all that stuff. And beside this, you are able to save to disk as well. And this is actually quite interesting, because you can combine those two features. So even if you have a, let's say, very good game state, and you approach the next level, and you may lose a couple of times and power-ups in this level, and you do not manage to die completely in this level, you go into the next level with a not so good game state. And so I was using the disk save to disk feature to save my game states if I'm happy with it, and then I continued just some sort of practicing or something like this. And then I went back to the saved disk state, and I could continue the game from there. And I was just testing whether this is working with the Pi 1541, and it is even working in the SD to IC mode. So you can use any SD to IC device you have on hand to save your game state. You do not even have to mount a disk image, so that's very comfortable. And that was indeed a very interesting experience. And combined with the Park Patrol tape project, I was getting out my Tabuino Mini, and I just learned that the display is somehow broken. It is very, very dim. So there is at least something going on, but I can't see a damn thing on it. So it's very dull. But the device itself is working. You can see the LEDs are active, and in certain situations I'm sort of able to read something on the display. So it looks like that the background, or no, it's an OLED. It's not the background lit display. Anyway, so well, I have to fix this. I think I got this type of display somewhere in my boxers, which is actually the next rabbit hole I have to go down. And in combination with the Pi 1541, you may have seen the demo stream I did a couple of weeks ago with all those fantastic Reflex demos, or the C64 demos made by Reflex. It's probably the better sentence to put this. And there is in particular one demo I can't get to work, and that's Cafe Odd. And it's not working on the Pi 1541. It is working on the Ultimate 2 Plus, so that's actually good. But it's not working on the Pi 1541. So I got an older version, which is using some different parts, but I couldn't find the matching image. So I started to create a new one for the Raspberry Pi, but I couldn't get this to work. Got lost in this project as well. And while Searching for the Pi 1541 parts, I found the cartridge, the final cartridge 3.33, and I already started to create a cartridge for this 3D printed cartridge, and I may do an episode about this one because I have used the original final cartridge 3 back then in the early 90s. As I told you already a couple of times, I'm a bit shifted in terms of C64 experience. And the 3.33 version comes with a couple of interesting features I want to present to you as well. Yep, and that's actually the whole thing that's going on. So this little keyboard is actually for the Raspberry Pi thingy I had to work on, and actually that's what's going on here on my desk. I really have to sort out a couple of things because it started to get a bit messy, but it's really strange to see that, well, the world keeps turning, and even if I'm stuck in one thing, other things happen, and therefore it is sometimes a little bit hard to keep up with all that stuff. But anyway, that's just some short update what's going on my side. So I'm still alive, I'm still doing things, and as soon as I have sorted a couple of topics or issues, then I will come back and do some, well, real episodes, so to say. Anyway, that's all. Thanks for watching, and just as a little reminder, if you are capable or if you know somebody who is probably capable of creating the image I may need for the Raspberry Pi, feel free to get in contact with me, and that would be highly appreciated. And if I get this thing working, the SID radio stream will be back online. I even consider using an APC, uninterrupted power supply. How is it called in English, I think? Anyway, because I got the feeling that I have some power dropouts every now and then, and that might be the reason why the initial stream or the old stream stopped every now and then. I never really figured out what caused the issue, but that's some sort of project I have in mind, and so that's actually what's going on. So I was already in the middle of closing that shorty here, and therefore thanks for watching. I'm looking forward to your comments and ideas how to solve certain problems I'm facing here right now. And thanks for watching, and see you for the next episode. Bye bye.